Hi there. I've got a friend called Mark. He's a great guy. Anyway, he lives in Bohol, and we was having a chat one day, a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, Mark, let's record this as like an interview. So here it is. Let's go.
Yeah, and I guess it was just a case of I was in a bit of financial stress. I'd previously been able to dip into my superannuation, which is like a savings plan type thing for aged, and I would approach them to say, hey, I think I'm getting a little bit broke here. Can I get some of this money? And they said, no, you can't, but you can when you're 59. Well, I'd just turned 58, so I went, oh, okay. So all I've got to do is hang on for 12 months, and then I can get my super. And then I did the maths and worked out that I could live on what I already know now is a very realistic budget, and not earn another cent for the rest of my life, and live till 99. So that's what I'm doing.
Good for you.
That's plan A.
Now, obviously, you don't get your pension till you're 67 years old.
That's the old age pension.
Yeah.
So that's your government pension.
Yeah.
And in Australia, if you've got too much money, you don't get that anyway.
You don't.
So that's another reason to actually start dipping into my super early.
No, I didn't know that.
Because if I had that full amount of super, I wouldn't be eligible for the old age pension because I've got too much money.
Yeah.
So what I'll do now is I'll start taking it early and spend it so that I can get the bloody pension.
I don't know. Because in the UK,
it's crazy.
You can have as much money as you like, and you can still get your old age pension. But I think there's going to be a few changes in that coming up. The way the government's looking and what I've been watching on the news on television.
I mean, I've just turned 59. I'm not eligible for the old age pension till I'm 67. That's 8 years. God knows what they're going to do to the rules in between.
You don't know, do
So
you?
you've got no idea. So, am I going to sweat about that now and make that, or what if? I mean, apparently I've been told that, I might have to go back and live in Australia for 2 years until I'm, from 65 to 67 to be eligible for the pension.
Really?
But then other people tell me, oh no, that's if you've only been in the country for so many years. I mean, I was born in Australia. I've been putting in tax returns since I was 16 and a half years old.
Yeah.
And I believe I might be exempt to that. But again, any of these rules can change in the next 8 years. Who knows? So all you can do is just not worry about it and wait till it comes. Like I said, my plan A works without it.
Yeah.
It works even better with it. But if I've got to, beg from a government or jump through a whole heap of ridiculous hoops that don't suit my lifestyle, then move on, do something else.
Yeah, very, very true. But the thing is, we need money to be able to survive in the Philippines. Obviously, at the moment, I'm living on my savings. I've got one pension running, and I don't get my old age pension till June this year. But when I get that, that'll be enough. Believe it or not, that'll be enough to survive on in the Philippines. Plus, I've got another 2 pensions. Got another.
Oh, look, I mean, the age-old question of what does it cost to live here, and the reality is, 2,000 2,000 US a month, and you live in the lifestyle I've got right now. We're going out for dinner a couple of nights a week, and got a nice little unit and a swimming pool and all of that sort of stuff. Yeah. If I was really hard up, I'd go and live in Dell's Province house, and I wouldn't have hot and cold running water, and I wouldn't have this and I wouldn't have that, but I'd have some nice people around me.
Yeah, that's very true.
And it would cost me. I could live on $100 a week, easily.
Really?
Easily.
That's,
if all you did was sit at home in the province, easily. You could do it for,
I suppose you could if all you're going to do is eat.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously, if there's no aircon to pay for, there's nothing. Well, you've got a fan, obviously, to sleep with. But
yeah, well, when an average salary here is 10,000 pesos a month.
Yeah.
Well, that's $100 a week.
Yeah, that's very true.
So there's literally millions of people living here and they're not dying. So. I don't really particularly want to be in that situation. It's not, you could call it camping. I could do it for a few weeks, but it's not, it's not my idea of where I want to finish up in terms of lifestyle. But
yeah. So, tell us about the first couple of girls you met off the Filipino dating sites.
Well, I started probably a couple of months before I came here on Filipino Cupid. And I hadn't even decided I was necessarily even coming to the Philippines at that stage. And as you do, it's like I said, it's a big sort and filter process. And I'd met quite a number of interesting girls. Yeah, there was a few of them who were really, really intelligent. There was one in Cebu who I was really very, very impressed with, just in terms of a person. And she was on, she had a LinkedIn profile, and she was into recruitment, and she was really, really switched on girl. And we had some really good conversations. And then I sort of had a couple that I'd met teed up ready for Cebu to actually come and meet when I came over, and one of course was back and forth quite a bit, and I'd even just changed my travel plan. So I changed the hotel and moved into it was Liliwan, which is up sort of an hour north of central Cebu. So, and I didn't really sort of understand that, I could have done it in a taxi from IT Park, but I sort of didn't understand that. So I finished up booking this shitty hotel in this place for my first week in the Philippines. Unfortunately, I did find out before I actually went there, but Sandy turned out to be a ladyboy. And but look, hey, I mean, I don't do chicks with dicks, but at the end of the day, we've been having these great conversations and getting along. I really thought she was a woman, and anyway, I'd already changed my plans and all of that sort of stuff. And of course, my original sort of, I guess, advertisement, if you like, was to say, hey, I'm just coming to the Philippines. I just want somebody to show me around. Yeah. Well, obviously there's some implications there, but that's not necessarily, doesn't have to be the case. And that was the case. So, she finished up. Yep, she was my tour guide and picked me up in the morning and took me out here and took me there and dropped me off and actually did a really good job of it. Oh, excellent.
Did you have to pay her?
I helped her.
Yeah.
So, and much like I do with most of the girls that I've met here, if I see an opportunity to help them, I guess, get ahead in terms of a permanent change. So in her case, I helped her that she'd been a hairdresser, and was unemployed because of COVID and all of that. But she could get a job back with her own original place that she was at. But she needed to get her barangay clearance and this clearance and this clearance and this clearance, which is all legitimate. And she needed some scissors, and she had to have her own clippers, and she had to supply her own equipment, which I think is pretty normal in that industry.
Yeah.
So I guess I paid for all of that, and she got back to work.
It's nice to know you're a thoughtful guy. This is one of the reasons that made me think this man is good, and I want to be his friend, because you do meet such a lot of foreigners out here, and all they want to do is take, and you have always come across as a little bit different. It's like you've invited me here today to your apartment. You've made me and my girlfriend lunch, which is like a buffet lunch, and you've supplied the beers. I've tried to buy the beers, but you wouldn't accept it. You are a genuine guy.
Well,
you really are.
There's plenty of us around, mate. You're one of them.
No, there's not many. Anyway, tell us, what would you recommend to anybody else coming here in any light whatsoever? I mean, what would you recommend to meet a girl? Would you recommend to meet a girl online, like you did? Or would you recommend to meet a girl where she lives, if you want to live there?
I think I've seen combinations of all of the above. A lot of people will say, and I know somebody has, gone to the province, found a very young, pretty girl. He's been with her now for a couple of years. They're going absolutely fantastic. I've seen plenty of people who've met their partners on Filipino Cupid or something like that. I met after all of that on Filipino Cupid. Mine spotted me walking on the beach, and then spotted me on Facebook and said, "Hey, did I see you walking on the beach yesterday?" I don't think there's any right way. I think it's just the chips fall where they are. But I mean, obviously, whatever you're putting out there, there are different market niches in terms of in terms of what we're looking for. I mean, you were talking before about guys showing their dicks on photos and all of that sort of stuff. Well, that's one market,
which I don't agree.
And one group, and then but there's a lot of us are legitimately looking for a partner. And I guess I've always believed if you're looking for a partner, then you've got to kind of treat them from day one as if they might be that partner.
Which is why I was telling you earlier, My girlfriend, I absolutely adore her. I really, really do. She's probably one of the best persons I've ever met. Pardon?
She's easy to like.
She is easy to like, yeah, because she's such a laugh. She really is. Yeah. And your girlfriend, she's adorable as well. She's such a laugh. I mean, the way she treats you. This is what I like, and this is what a lot of the women in the West don't like. Is they don't like what we know as, or what we want as, a traditional woman. Because a traditional woman is one that, I wouldn't say they bend over backwards for you, but they're there for you. Yeah. They're on your side. They're there to help. Dinner is made, not because you ask her to, but because she wants to do it.
And it is, the thing is, in the West, it's all about power.
Yeah.
And over here, it's all about just simply, it's unconditional acts of love. It's they're looking for any opportunity to make you happy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be a deal involved.
Yeah.
You know?
The way I look at this, Mark, I don't know if you do, this is a two-way deal.
Yeah.
Because people in the West, the women and the men, say they only want you for your money. Yeah. This is a third world country.
Yeah.
You can make their life so much better.
Yeah.
And they can make your life so much better.
I mean, my girl has never asked me for anything. I've helped her in a number of ways. She's got a passport now, a driver's license, and we've basically built her up so that if I dropped off the face of the earth tomorrow, she's in a better place than she would have been.
Yeah.
And I've given her a genuine head start, a genuine, got her over those humps that will allow her to then have a genuine future.
Yeah.
But she's never asked me for anything. And funnily enough, a lot of the Western women would say, she's waiting on you hand and foot and she's being your servant and all. Well, number one, I don't really ask her to do anything. She seems to be psychic. The second
don't they?
The second I think I'll sort of vaguely think, the thought crosses my mind that I might think that I might like a coffee, and within a second she's asking me if I want a coffee. It's just quite uncanny, and I think it's just because it's that focus that she's tuned in.
Yeah.
And
this is what a traditional woman does.
How can I do something for you? How can I look after you? And in my own way, I'm doing exactly the same back. Yeah. I see these opportunities. I see things that can help her to grow. And it's not just money. It's about sometimes it's about advice. Sometimes it's about encouragement. Hey, that's what a relationship's supposed to be about. It shouldn't be in the West or the East, but we've just lost it in the West.
Yeah. I was telling you earlier that when I was married, my wife who died, she was a very traditional wife. I loved her more than anything in the world. And I was telling Mark that when I come home from work, dinner was on the table. Do you want a massage, darling? And when she died, I was absolutely devastated. And it took me a couple of years, and one of my friends at home, he actually says to me, he just says, John, we used to go to the Philippines 35 years ago, why don't you go back? Because you enjoyed it there. And I did. Okay then, Mark, before we wrap it up, is there any advice you'd give to anybody thinking about coming to the Philippines?
Just go with it.
Go with it.
Just go with it. I mean, you get so many people come over here and whinging about how it's not like home. You're not home. You're in the Philippines. There is both advantages and disadvantages in the level of development here. So, whilst we don't have these mod cons and these and this, and we don't have the organisation, and yes, they have bureaucracy and all of that. But at the end of the day, it's a lifestyle that's similar to what the Western lifestyle was 50 or 60 years ago. Yeah. And we were talking about before, you were talking about food stamps and ration systems in England and things like that. And I remember the Kraft cheese that I used to get as a kid, and I used to pull the foil off, and it was crappy cheese, but it's almost identical to what we've got here. Yeah. And everything's that sort of 50 or 60 years behind, but as well as the modern conveniences being 50 or 60 years behind, but the lifestyle is also 50 or 60 years behind. And the Filipinos naturally are relaxed. They're happy. They've got a good sense of humour. They love to sing. They love to dance, and they're just very, very simple.
I wouldn't change a thing. No. Okay, folks. Well, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and press the little bell so you get notifications. And it's been great interviewing you, Mark.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you.